On my Discord, I have a Q&A channel for a Q&A video that I'm posting this weekend, and a lot of people were asking the question on my opinions about people cheating and hacking to unlock Dark Aether and DM Ultra. So I wanted to address that in this video, answer some of the questions you guys had a little bit more directly on this topic because there's a lot I want to talk about, as well as share my thoughts on this whole thing. So I honestly didn't know until that people started asking these questions that you could cheat and unlock DM Ultra and get like hackers to do it for you, because I did the camos legit at the very beginning of the game, and I believe this is a relatively new thing within the like hacking and glitching community. I'm not too sure about it, and I don't know how it officially works, if you unlock the camo completely or if the hackers just make like a weapon variant of a blueprint that every time you want to use a DM Ultra on a weapon, you have to go into your gunsmith and select that specific custom blueprint that you made yourself, and that has DM Ultra on it. I don't know if that's how it works, but I do know that in zombies there is lobbies where you can just glitch the zombies out and get to level 1000 and do all your camo challenges instantly. And I know there's the same thing relatively for multiplayer, where there is these companies where you can buy bot lobbies where it's literally bots in your lobby in like a multiplayer lobby, so all your camo progression saves. And all these companies do is they have like a bunch of just random AFK accounts that they run on emulators, and they just put them into one game, invite you to that game that's in a public multiplayer match, and then you load in, you can get like 800 kills a game and do camo challenges that way. And the only reason I know that is because a company literally approached me during the Damascus camo grind. I won't throw any of the screenshots up on screen, but they came to me asking if I would advertise for them while I was doing the grind to DM Ultra series. So long story short, people can now pay like 200 bucks and just get DM Ultra and Dark Aether unlocked for free without them having to grind the game. And it seems expensive because some services and companies will charge even more than $200 per like mastery camo, so you might be paying $300 for DM Ultra and then a separate $300 for Dark Aether. My initial impression of this is I hate it, especially as a player who grinds camos legit year after year within Call of Duty. I hate that there are these services out here that basically give people for an X amount of dollars the camo that I grinded for and went through all the trouble to get, and they just get it for free. However, people can do whatever they want, and I know that these services have been around forever, because it's not just camo services too. There used to be recovery services for old like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games for Call of Duty, where people would get their accounts and stats hacked so they would be really high on the leaderboards, or so they could get all their camos unlocked. I just didn't think this would be possible in these days and ages with Call of Duty, and they could track people easily to ban them with this. But surprisingly, from the research that I've done, a lot of people aren't getting banned for doing this, and a lot of those level 1000 lobbies that people will buy, I think they're like 20 bucks each, and you get to level 1000 every season. So I really don't understand why this is so undetectable on Activision's front and these people aren't getting banned. But at the same time, I also completely understand why people are purchasing these services, because you can spend $200 and not have to do like the 7 days of in-game play time to grind and get frustrated with specific guns that you don't want to use. And I completely understand why people are using it for that reason, but it also takes away from the fun of grinding the camos. One thing that makes the camo grind so much fun is the reward at the end. And even in a game like World War II, where the chrome camo wasn't like the best looking camo ever, it was the fact that you had the camo and were able to show it off and say, hey, I did this legit. That was the reward at the end of it. Now, with current Call of Duties like Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War, we have some pretty good looking mastery camos that also reward us visually in the game and that look really good, as well as we're showing off that we did every single weapon mastery in the game. And it's a huge spit into the face for players like me who have done the camos legit and have grinded and put these hours in. And then there's these people that just come in and buy it and don't do it legitly. And yes, the camos are nice and it's really cool, but I don't get the whole point of buying it, because literally the entire part of like the point of the grind is, yes, to unlock the camo at the end, but you don't feel good because like you get this really cool camo. enjoyment comes from the fact that you did this extremely difficult challenge in a game that not a lot of people do, and you can show off by having these calling cards and camos. But the fact that people are glitching and hacking for these camos kind of take away the excitement of actually doing these camos, because why would you do a camo grind that's going to take you hours and days when you could just spend a couple $100 and have someone do it for you and for free? And keep in mind that not all of these services are legit. I guarantee there's people out there that are trying to scam people for money while doing these services. So they could probably say, hey, for $200, I will give you DM Ultra and Dark Ether on your account, and you don't have to unlock them at all. They'll just be permanently unlocked. Like, that seems too good to be true, and it very well might be, and people could get scammed super easily. I'm sure there's tons of people who have been desperate to unlock the camo challenges when they get to the launchers, that they might search up some of these services if they know about them to actually use them. And that's like, I understand it to a certain extent. Like, if I was a player who wasn't very good at the game or just didn't have the time to actually unlock the camos, I understand looking into services like these, but still it is just so unmotivating for the camo grind. Like, players that are grinding DM Ultra and Dark Ether now must feel completely unmotivated if you guys know about these services. And if you're doing these grinds yourselves, and I just brought your attention to these services and all these ways of cheating DM Ultra and Dark Ether, I am so sorry you guys had to learn about it this way where I'm complaining about it. But I think a lot of you guys are going to be on the same page with me. It's just super lame, and it sucks to see that nothing's being done about it right now, because apparently it's untrackable. And I believe it's untrackable because I haven't heard of anyone getting banned by doing this, and it absolutely sucks for the players who have done it legit and who are doing it legit, and there's these people cheating. It's like the same issue with hackers in Warzone. There's tons of players that grind really hard to get good at the game to win the game, when a hacker could just come in, use hacks, and win the game really easily. Of course, this is on a little bit of a different circumstance because this is to do with mastery camo challenges, but it's like the same shit, different pile. It's the exact same issue, just different consequences. They're not cheating in the game to gain a physical advantage of being more skilled. They're doing it to gain an advantage cosmetically and trophy wise and prestige wise. They're getting something for free. I guess not for free because they're paying something for it, but they're getting something for free in the terms where they don't have to put in the time to unlock the camo themselves. They can just use a little bit of daddy's money or a little bit of their disposable income, and instead of buying like a really nice meal for friends and still having a bunch of money left over, or going and using that money for something else, they're using it for these camos. And yes, I am going to be passive aggressive here and make fun and call out those players for wasting money on this, because if you really care about a mastery camo that much, you should just unlock it legit. There's no point in wasting money on it. Like, imagine what you could do with the hundreds of dollars that people spend on these. Like, you could buy a PS5 for the price that some people are selling DM Ultra camo for and Dark Ether camo for. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just, one, it's really scummy because you're cheating the system, which it makes sense because people will always cheat the system. I'm not going to defend them for that. It sucks that they do that, and there's shitty people for doing that, but it cheats the system. It makes mastery camo, it almost ruins this, like, the specialty of mastery camos, because now people aren't going to know if you unlock the camo legit or if you cheated for it or just bought the camo from someone. That's going to start becoming a thing in the next few years, I would assume, where people are going to start seeing in game, oh hey, technically Wild has the DM Ultra and Dark Ether emblem and calling card, and he's using DM Ultra on his gun, but I bet he cheated because that would be stupid. Why would you unlock it legitly? He's probably just a cheater, which sucks because there's going to be players that happens to, where people don't know if they cheat or do it legit. Think about all the level 1000 players in the game right now. Since we know that there's those bot lobbies and everything, like those lobbies for XP that these companies run that give you level 1000 instantly or within like a couple minutes, imagine the players that actually unlock level 1000 legit and spend their time in a season getting to level 1000 because that's their goal. Yesterday, for example, there was a player in my lobby with level 1000 that had the DM Ultra camo and had the DM Ultra camo calling card, but I don't know if he cheated for that stuff or if he actually put in the time to grind to level 1000 or DM Ultra. Of course, at the very beginning of the season, it's a little easier to tell who's the cheaters and who's not, because if day 2 of a new season when everyone's like, what, like level like 20 or something, and then all of a sudden one person in your lobby is level 1000, you obviously know that person's a cheater. But it's later in the season where that becomes a little bit more suspicious, and I haven't heard of anyone getting banned like that. So I just wanted to talk about that today. Let me know your guys' opinions down below on this issue within the game and cheaters going for DM Ultra and ruining the grind for those that are going legitly. I hate it, obviously. I understand to a certain extent why people are doing it, but I don't think it's acceptable whatsoever. Once again, let me know, share your opinions in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy, dislike if you didn't. There is no hard feelings. Subscribe for more videos in the future. The 80K Q&A is coming out this weekend, so you guys got a little bit of time to ask questions for that video. And anyway, I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.